Vortex here, welcome to my review of the Yincrow X6. A few people recommended these to me, and I've seen like in various comments here and there saying they are meant to be pretty good for the price. So yeah, I bought them off AliExpress. I was not paid to do this video and all the thoughts and opinions are my own. And I've actually bought the boring black ones. Well, there should be, but yeah, let's get into the video. So this is the box it should come in. It's a Yincrow X6. Code, Chinese, nothing there, nothing there. So mine are the, like I said, I bought the boring black ones. So yeah, and mine non-mic. I always try and order non-microphones because it's just less basically to go wrong. So let's see what you actually get. So some sort of card. You can scan that, see where it goes. So specs, so 15.5mm drivers are quite big, 112 decibels. I think it's sensitivity, 32 ohms. Frequency range from 18 hertz, which is really quite low for earbud, up to 22,000 hertz. 3.5mm cable. I guess them about like how much power you can probably throw at them. Telephone number and the QQ number. And just a simple pouch. Good that they've included that. Personally, I'll probably never use these, but at least you've got it, so it's not too bad. Before I get into that, so you got two donuts, as they're called, two black donuts, which is good. So you'd have to buy anything extra. Obviously, you got a shirt clip. So it's pretty good. Again, some more. Oops, more goodies. Then you just got, yeah. So 4 normal, more of the foams. It's not too bad. So yeah, I bought the boring black ones. I was going to order the red ones, but they do come with like I think like a brown kind of cable. So nothing amazing. So says left. I think these use a generic MX500 shell. Obviously, that's it. Nothing to really shout about. Focuses. That's it. So left and right, Yincrow. Cable seems fine. Obviously, I haven't really untangled it yet. Kind of a right-angled-ish connector. Well, more of a right angle. It's not too bad. More portable gears should be like this to saves you from breaking connectors. And yeah, I'll open this up later on, but yeah, I'm going to keep this video shorter, so I'm going to unravel this, put a good few hours on them, then I'll be back through the power of editing for the review. So folks, finally on to the review. Let's get straight into comfort. They use the generic, I think, MX500 shell. Let it focus. So that's what I look like. Obviously R and L. Mine are the boring black ones. They fit me okay, but sometimes after a few hours I might get a little bit of discomfort, from the width of it. Obviously everybody's ears are different, so you have to bear that in mind, but on the whole you should be okay really. Yeah, attached cables, which is a negative, but it's a cheap earbud. I think I paid around £10 or so, so they're not really expensive. Or might have been just under 10, I'm not quite sure. It's around £10, so obviously at that price you do have attached, the earbuds are attached. They're not like the M2S from Smartbat. They're a step up from this, but yeah, for the price, the fine really build quality, it's just all plastic. But again, you should be fine really. I don't really see any issues. The cable is a little bit rubbery, as you can see. It's not like a normal IEM cables, which are technically kind of looser, but again, it's fine for what it is. Sensitivity and like power, these are noticeably harder to drive than my normal IEMs that I normally try. So you will need something that puts out a bit more power. You won't need anything crazy, it's just one thing to note. If you have a device the power output is poor, you may need to think of another option to power it, maybe you know, like a dongle adapter, something like that. But they're not too bad at all. Just one thing to note. Soundstage, very good. I haven't tried many earbuds, bear in mind, but the soundstage, the width of it seems actually quite good. I don't think it's like crazy stage, but the soundstage, the width of the soundstage is actually okay. Imaging is okay. It's not the best, not the worst, nothing like that, but the imaging was perfectly competent for what you're paying for. And yeah, to get into the sound, so the overall sound of these are kind of, I'd say, warm. I wouldn't say them dark earbuds. They're not like that, but they do have a warmer sound. So let's start from the low end. These do have a nice bit of sub bass. Obviously, it could be an earbud. They're not bass monsters, but they do have a nice bit of sub bass and bit of mid bass, which is good to see from something that's technically not really sealing in your ear. Obviously, the foams help if you use foams, but yeah, they can't really moan. Really, they're not really crazy bassy, but they have got some. They've got enough warmth. That's why, on the whole, these are warmer sounding earbuds. Let's just go straight towards the mids and vocals. Vocals are fine. They're not really pushed back. They're not really in your face or anything like that. So, kind of a good balance for. If you do like listen to vocal centric stuff with singers, it's fine really. Nothing to shout about, but does perform quite well. Treble is again fine really. He seems to lack upper treble from what I can see. I haven't seen any graphs of this, so I'm just going kind of by ear, but he does have treble. It seems to roll off further up. I don't know exactly when, but it's fine for the price. But yeah, treble details are good. Instruments are clear enough. They're not perfect. One of the negatives I'd say is they could sound a little bit clearer. Maybe I'm used to something that costs a bit more, but the actual like micro details could be better. But again, can't really complain much. But on the whole, for the price, they do perform very well. They are actually quite an easy recommendation, but I'll get to that in a bit. And the tonality of it, again, sounds good. It sounds natural. Nothing really to shout about really. They are, on the whole, quite good. I'm trying to think what else. Obviously, yeah, isolation. Isolation obviously is not very good by design. Obviously, the isolation is not zero, but obviously it's close to it because it's an earbud, so it's vented. But obviously, it does block your ear canal, so it does block some sound. They're not like IEMs sound much better by design, so you have to bear that in mind. And yeah, so on the whole, good natural sound. So quickly skim over the negatives. Negatives are like micro details and imaging, and kind of details could be better. The bass, they can sound a little bit muddy, a little bit, like tiny bit. Maybe because it's the same kind of thing. The lack of detail and muddy is kind of, they go hand to hand. But yeah, and probably a little bit harder to power, but they are warmer sounding pair of earbuds. Affordable, as you say, around £10. I'm not quite sure in dollars, maybe about $12 to $13, I think, something like that. Obviously, mine are the non-microphone variant. Yeah, so on the warmer side, good stage, good kind of natural sound to them. Build quality is fine. But yeah, on the whole, they seem to perform quite well. Vocals are fine. They're not really, say, like I said, push back or in your face or anything like that. I've tried it with a few different genres and they seem to work quite well. And I did test this as well on my Topping L30 on low gain, and I had to use it instead of it being like, obviously down there is the lowest. IEMs are normally like here on the dial, but for this I've had to turn it up higher. It's noticeably different. So, but yeah, on the whole, actually quite good really. Can't really fault them. If you're after a more detailed, brighter sound, these aren't really like that. These are a very easy to listen to, warmer kind of sound signature. obviously they're not amazing, they don't really do much wrong, but on the whole, this kind of sound I'd say would please a lot of people. Apart from the people who like either like bass heads, this is obviously not for you, or if you do prefer more of a neutral sound, these are not for you either. But yeah, on the whole, they're not too bad at all. I think there's quite a good pick. I don't. It's a good recommendation for me to buy. I think other people recommended them to me, and I'm quite glad I've got them. Again, mine are the boring black ones. They come in red. I think they come in maybe blue. I'm not quite sure, but obviously I'll put in the link in the description where I physically bought them from. And I think pretty much really. But yeah, they're not perfect, but for what you're paying, if they did the like little like micro details and maybe resolution was a bit better, these would be hell of a good earbud really. If they had some small improvements, they would be like the best thing since sliced bread for like £10. But they're not perfect, but they perform well for the price. Compared to the Kian 69s, they are tuned a bit different to this. They are, I think from memory, they were brighter sound with less bass. These are less bright with more bass. So that's it. And yeah, anything in particular you want to let me know, as usual, let me know in the comments. And I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care.